Before we begin our work today, we need to understand some vocabulary. I pulled a reading, and we're going to read and try to learn some of these words. So the reading starts, what is the coordinate grid? Well, the coordinate grid, I'll underline coordinate and then I'm going to circle grid. The coordinate grid, sometimes referred to as the Cartesian or rectangular coordinate plane. Okay, this time I'm going to underline coordinate and circle plane because I wanted you to notice the two different words that were used here. Okay, so the coordinate plane is the intersection of two real number lines, one horizontal and one vertical. It acts as a map and yields precise directions from one place to another. So take a look at this vertical number line and this horizontal number line. And when we create a coordinate grid or a coordinate plane, basically we just put the vertical number line over top the horizontal number line, and then we have our coordinate grid. Now we call these numbers 5, -3, 0, 0, 2, 7, which mark specific places on the coordinate grid. We call them either, you can call them ordered pairs, or you can call them coordinates. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and complete the activity that you're going to complete in a second and teach you about the coordinate grid system. So I'm going to make a copy. And sorry guys, it's thinking for a second. Now here is our coordinate grid. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to label the x-axis and the y-axis. So the x-axis is the horizontal line. So I'll grab the x and move this over and label the x-axis. Next I'm going to grab the y label and I'm going to put that on the y-axis. So the y-axis is the vertical line. Next, I'm going to start marking the numbers. So let's focus on the horizontal number line. To the right are the positive numbers, 1, 2, and 3. So I'm going to grab a positive 1. There we go. A positive 1, a positive 2, and then a positive 3. All right, then on the left side are the negative numbers. So I'm going to start with -1, then -2. And this is taking me a while, guys, so you probably want to just make the video play at a faster speed because this is probably a little bit irritating to watch me slowly move the numbers over. Okay, so 1, 2, and 3, and then -1, -2, -3. And then what I want you to do is I want you to focus on the vertical number line. The numbers above the origin are positive, and the numbers below the origin are negative. And I think you already learned that the origin is 0, 0 right here in the middle. So let me focus on the positive numbers first. Okay, so I'll move this 1 over here. So 1, then I'll move the 2. Again, I hope you're playing me at a faster speed since this is taking me a while. And then the negative numbers are down here at the bottom. So we're focused right here, right now, on the vertical number line. So I'm making sure you know where the positive numbers are and where the negative numbers are. Okay, great. So -1, -2, -3, and then up here, +1, +2, +3. The middle is called the origin. It's also known as 0, 0. So I'll try to get that as close as I can to the middle. That'll have to do. And then from here, we're going to label our quadrants. Now, when you're labeling quadrants, let me go ahead and grab the scribble tool. You start over here, and then you move counterclockwise as you label them. So I'm going to click back, I'm going to move back to the selection tool, and then I'm going to move quadrant 1. Quadrant 1 moves, let's see if it's going to let me move this. This is quadrant 1, This is quadrant 2 over here. Quadrant 3 is next. Remember, we're going counterclockwise. And then quadrant 4 ends up down here. And I'm going to also just give you examples of each. So let me go back to the scribble tool. Okay, and what I mean by positive is, let me show for example, this is, right here is 1, 2, 1, 2. This is positive 2, positive 2. So all the points in quadrant 1 are going to be positive, positive. Okay, look at quadrant 2. All right, negative 2, positive 2. So negative 2, positive 2. All the numbers in this quadrant are going to be negative, and then the second number will be positive. Now look at quadrant 3. I'll mark this point, and this point is negative 2, negative 2. So I want you to notice that in this quadrant, I was having trouble drawing it, so I went ahead and paused the video and then drew it, and then now I can talk about it. So this point is negative 2, negative 2, and I want you to notice that all of the points in this quadrant are going to be a negative number and then a negative number. Now look at quadrant 4. I went ahead and I labeled this point. It's positive 2, negative 2. So in this quadrant, the first number will always be a positive number, and the second number will always be a negative number. Now you're going to complete this activity, and then you're going to take a screenshot of it. So just the labels. So I got rid of those points that I labeled because you don't need to do that. You just need to drag all of the items that I dragged into the proper place. You take a screenshot of it, and then you come back over here to the Go Formative, and you're going to click this picture icon, and you can either click Upload Picture or Pick from Google Drive to add your screenshot.